The Disney Channel film Descendants proved to be pretty good when I watched it, despite it was 2 years after it premiered. But what about its sequel? Well, this proved to be even more good, and what have you. Prepare yourselves, we're going back to Oregon again. Here's my re-review of Disney's Descendants 2. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual Bear, known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a re-review of the 2017 made-for-TV musical fantasy coming-of-age flick Descendants 2, or should I say Disney's Descendants 2. Once again, directed by Kenny Ortega. This film debuted on more than just Disney Channel, but it also got shown on ABC, Disney XD, Freeform, Lifetime, and Lifetime Movie Network. Now, of course, we have Dove Cameron, Cameron Boyce, Sofia Carson, Booboo Stewart, Mitchell Hope, and several others from the first film are back, plus some others and what have you, including China and McClain, who, of course, will be seeing the brand new film, which is not too far away. From premiering. This film premiered on all these channels on July 21st, 2017. Of course, this was from Disney Channel, and as I forgot to mention with the first film, it's once again co-produced with Bad Angels Productions and 5678 Productions. David Lawrence is back on board to do the score for the film, and Kenny Ortega serves as the executive producer and once again choreographer of the film. If you haven't seen my re-review of the first film, which has already gotten as much as this amount of reviews as my original review of the first film did, you can check it out by clicking on that. Even though I've got that re-review in my Descendants playlist, I'm just going to go ahead and give you the movie and my re-review of the first film instead of the playlist, okay? Just in case you might have missed it, or if you want to see it again before going to this one, because this time I'm going to give the story in its entirety. Okay, that'll do it. Okay, on with the story. Mal struggles with her new celebrity life as the girlfriend of King Ben, putting a spell on her hair, making it blonde, and uncomfortably maintaining a princess-like personality. She confides her issues in her friends Evie, Carlos, and Jay, but they are content with their new lives in Oregon. Evie scolds Mel for relying on her mother's spell book to solve her issues. Carlos, wishing to ask Jane to the upcoming cotillion dance, turns to Mel for help. Mal gives him a sweet that will make him speak the truth, but his dog Dude eats it, magically speaking the blunt truth in English. Ooh. Ben eventually discovers Mal's reliance on magic, and she comes clean about her insecurities, causing a falling out. Mal returns to the Isle of the Lost, now ruled by her former rival Uma, daughter of the sea witch herself from the Little Mermaid, Ursula, along with Captain Hook's son Harry and Gil, son of Gaston. Mal visits hairstylist Dizzy Tremaine, the daughter to Drizella Tremaine, one of Cinderella's stepsisters, who restores her signature purple hair. Harry learns of Mal's return and informs Uma. Ben, along with Evie, Jay, and Carlos, learn Mal's departure and sneak onto the isle to find her, but Gil recognizes them. Ben confronts Mal, who rejects his feelings for both his sake and Oradon's. Ben leaves dejected, only to be captured by Uma. Mal and Uma arm wrestle for Ben and Fairy Godmother's wand, which Uma wins. Uma then orders Mal and her friends to retrieve Fairy Godmother's wand in exchange for Ben's safe return. Carlos and Jay return to Oradon Prep, where they create a replica of the wand using a 3D printer. They are caught by Lonnie, Milan's daughter, who blackmails them into letting her come, having previously been rejected from Jay's sports team based on her gender. Uma tells Ben of her bitterness that she and the others were not chosen to go to Oregon. Ben takes this into account and invites her to Oregon, but Uma instead plots to make her own way there. Mal's group returns, handing over the fake one in exchange for Ben, but Uma discovers the forgery. The group flee back to Oregon, but Mal and Ben's relationship is still rocky. The villain's children come to terms that they cannot run from their past and agree to be honest with themselves and each other. Carlos confesses to Jane but struggles, while Jay appoints Lonnie as the captain of his team. Now for the ending, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below. Fast forward to the time below. As I count down now, if you've seen the movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Aboard a ship during the cotillion, Ben stuns everyone by appearing with Uma, who he declares as his true love and announces he will destroy the barrier of the Isle. Jane unveils a stained glass display Ben commissioned to show his affection for Mal, who realizes he loved her for who she was all along. Suspecting Uma has given him a love potion, Mal confesses her love for Ben and kisses him, breaking the spell. Enraged, Uma leaps into the water, using Ursula's magic seashell necklace, to transform into a a big Uma, kind of like what happened to Ursula in Little Mermaid, except in a different way, because she used the seashell necklace, not, well, now you know the story. And Mal fights back as a dragon. Ben intervenes, quelling the battle, and Uma returns the ring that Ben had originally given her when he had declared her as his true love and leaves. Mal and Ben reunite. Mal surrendering her spell book to Fairy Godmother, Evie requests that Dizzy be allowed to attend Oregon Prep. When Dizzy is offered, she excitedly accepts. In a mid-credit scene, Uma addresses the audience, promising that the story is not over, but this story is. So, what did I think of Descendants 2? Well, I will say that even though I didn't watch the first film when it premiered, but after learning more about it, I gave it a shot, as I said before. And when this film premiered, I thought I'd check it out and see if this was any good. And let me tell you, it was. It was certainly a very good film. It did just as good and what have you. It got a lot of good views and what have you on just about everything, just up from its predecessor. And that was good too. Now then, I don't really know much of how much the reception was for in reviews though, so I'll just go ahead and give you my own. I think the film's story was pretty good and what have you, and which was written by Jason McGibbon and Sarah Pario, who also wrote the story for the first film, which that's something I failed to point out. But they returned to write this story, and it's pretty good. Now, I must say it's pretty cool. We get to see a little bit more of the Isle of the Lost, even more, and what have you, and get introduced to a few new characters and what have you. Now, it is a shame we don't get to see some characters we saw in the last film, like say Audrey, for example. But however, she is mentioned though a couple of times. But I'll get to that in a little bit, okay? Now, for our cast, we have Dove Cameron back as Mal, and I must admit, she's still got it. She's still good. Cameron Boyce once again returns as Carlos, good. Sofia Carson returns as Evie, very good. And Booboo Stewart returns as Jay. The 4 descendants from the first film, they were all still good. Now we have Mitchell Hope back as Ben. I gotta say he's pretty good. Brenna D'Amico returns as Jane, and I'm gonna say even much more impressive and better looking than before. Melanie Paxton returns as Fairy Godmother as well. Definitely good and what have you. Here's some others that return. Dianne Doan returns as Lonnie. She's good. Unfortunately, we don't see her in the next film. Unfortunately, that for an answer, I can't give it to you. I wish I knew. Jedediah Goodacre returns as Chad the Charming, that is. Yeah. And Zachary Gibson once again returns as Dopey the dwarf's son Doug. Also, we have Dan Payne and Keegan Connor Tracy back as the Beast and Belle. Now, for some of our new characters, we have Cheyenne McClain playing Uma. I must admit, she's a very good villainess. Definitely superb. Thomas Doherty plays Harry, and I'm gonna say he's really good. And Dylan Playfair plays Gil. I gotta say he's kind of crazy though, but and I gotta say Harry's pretty dark and sometimes really kind of violent in ways, but still a good character though. Even so, I really think this film is just as good as the first film. A few About almost a month after its premiere, it got released on physical media, and it's done pretty well. You can also find the full movie on Disney Plus, just like the first one. So that's good to know as well. There would also be a soundtrack as well, which which unfortunately didn't quite opening as big as its predecessor. It only managed to reach number 6 on the Billboard 200. However, it did top, like its predecessor, it did top the soundtrack albums chart, and it also topped the kid albums chart. But the soundtrack was certified gold. But however, despite it opening lower than the first film's soundtrack, its sales were a little opening sales were a little higher than the first one. The the soundtrack to Descendants 2 opened with 46,000 album equivalent units, which was 4,000 more than its predecessor. Now of the now the songs here, we get some real good ones. Starting with Ways to Be Wicked, that's a good song. Done by the four main VKs. What's My Name, done by China and McClain, along with Thomas Doherty and Dylan Playfair. They're good and what have you. You also get to hear some others and what have you, including some of the VKs performing The Little Mermaid's Kiss the Girl, which you hear just a little bit of at the end credits. And of course, the ever popular Chillin' Like a Villain. Yeah, which of course that was a very popular tune. Sofia Carson did with the guys when they were going to get Mal. Uh, However, that song did so well. It eventually got a winter themed version called "Chilling Like a Snowman," which was fine. I preferred "Chilling Like a Villain." Thank you very much. But don't worry, I don't have any hate for the holiday themed one. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, because I'm not trying to go out against that. Enough said. So overall, from my point of view, I think Descendants 2, it's just as good as the first one. Characters are good and great. I should say great characters, a good story, a great soundtrack and score, and a great cast as well. This film did so well, it would go on to get a third one, which would be out 2 years later in 2019, which I'll do a re-review of. But I'm also kind of going to give a slight change of plans for this. I will also be including with my re-review of Descendants 3 in my next vid, a mini review of Descendants The Royal Wedding, which was an animated special, a continuation after the events of this. So I will include a mini review of that as well. So with everything said, Descendants 2 is a very good sequel, but would I recommend it? I would definitely say yes. If you like the first one, you're going to love the second one. Definitely. So, what did you think of Descendants 2? Please let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, be a part of the Big D Nation. Please continue to help support my channel, make it grow, and make the views grow. And again, next time will be a re-review of Descendants 3 plus a mini review of Descendants the Royal Way. So anyway, if you like this, you may want to check out, well, a little something about since we get introduced to the daughter of Ursula, why not give you some Little Mermaid and what have you, just for fun. In the upper left-hand corner is my re-review of the original animated film of The Little Mermaid from 1989, which will be celebrating its 35th anniversary this year, as a matter of fact. Or go to the upper right-hand corner and see my review of its direct-to-video sequel from 2000, which of course was The Little Mermaid 2, Back to the Sea. Or if you'd like, see the Saturday morning TV log of The Little Mermaid animated TV series that aired on Saturday mornings in 1992. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.